Hey guys, we are here for the second night of the 88th annual North Texas Fair and Rodeo, and we have our Budweiser stage artist of the night, Mr. Steve Wariner. Y'all still have some time to see him. He'll be on the stage at 9:30. And Steve, we are so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Glad to be
We're
here.
so happy to have some good weather while you're here too.
I know. I was watching yesterday thinking, uh-oh. And I understand maybe the parade,
The parade did get canceled.
But anyway, we're going to have a good night.
Yes, we are. Yes, we
I
are.
feel like my buddy Garth here with this. That's cool.
We're fancy. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get straight to the real deal. Tell us about, okay, you've been playing bass professionally since the age of 17.
I started out playing bass.
Yeah.
Played with Dottie West and Chet Atkins, Bob Lumen. Couldn't keep a job, but I kept. I worked with a lot of cool people starting out, and of course I was always a guitar player. But the jobs that seemed to they needed was bass,
Right.
so I go, oh, I do that too. So, but anyway, at the same time I was always practicing and working on my guitar, and of course that's what I've done since I started making my own records,
Right.
is do my own guitar and stuff and produce my records and stuff. So, but anyway, still love bass though.
And you've had a long run to develop from starting off as a bass player to now being who you are.
Well, I think in all honesty too, being a musician that came along working, in other people's groups and working for great people like Dottie West and Chet Atkins. When I started making records of my own and having my own bands, it really gave me a foundation and a base,
Right.
a firm base to start from. Now, because I understand how you work with a band and how you treat the band members, because I was on
Right,
the other
you
side
were
of the
the band
fence. So
member.
yeah, so I think doing that and coming up as a player
Right.
means a lot. You understand it more. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so starting off at a young age, and I know you grew up in Indiana.
I'm a Hoosier.
Who were some of your music inspirations when you were coming up at that time?
Great question. My greatest influence was my father, of course. He had as a young kid, my dad had bands and would play, VFWs, American Legions. He'd play just on the weekends mainly for fun and probably extra money, but he had a regular job, a real job. But I always loved it because they would practice at our house. The band would set up at our house and play. And as a 9-year-old, 10-year-old little kid, I wanted to play with those guys. That's what I wanted to do. And eventually I made it from practicing through the wall in the bedroom. I made it into the living room, actually playing with all these guys. So at 10, 11 years old, I was playing out with my father, and that means the world to me. But I was really influenced by my dad's influences, which were guitar guys like Chet Atkins and Merle Travis. And as I got a little older, of course, I branched out. The Beatles came along, and I love all kinds of music. So my influences were all over the place, bluegrass. And
Right.
my dad's an old fiddler. He was an old country fiddler, so I listened to a lot of bluegrass and even like kind of folk music and all over the place. But as I got a little older, of course, George Jones and Merle Haggard was always an icon. Ironically, all these people that I became close friends with, and worked with through the years, Merle and George Jones and Glenn Campbell, was lucky to record with him and be friends, still friends now with, some of those folks that we're lucky enough to still have, But so, yeah, I'm the great example of any young artist that is, thinking that they can't do it from where they're from. I'm from a small, poor little, family in a little town that I'm here to tell you it can be done. Just dream big, because it can be done from anywhere you live and from any perspective. You can do it if you want to do it hard, if you want it badly enough. So.
When you were starting off as your own act, as your own, Steve, when was the first time, or when was it when you were on a stage that you were like, I'm becoming Steve Wariner?
Well, the first time I used to play around some festivals and some shows in Indiana when I was still in high school, and I'd play some shows, and I was starting to get a little bit of momentum and recognition, and I would play, and that was really cool. I knew that I was starting to get a little bit of a buzz going, but really when you know it is when my first record came out and it was a hit. And I never will forget, I pulled into a parking lot one day. It was in Nashville. I had already moved to Nashville, but I pulled into a parking lot, and there was a pretty young girl pulled up beside me in this parking lot. And I can show you right now where this parking lot is in Nashville. I still know where it is. And she was really pretty. And she had her windows down, and my song was playing on her radio, and it was a song I had out called "Your Memory." Was my first top 10 hit record, and I wanted so badly. I wanted to go. That's me. That's my record. Hey.
I like that artist. Nice.
I wanted to say, how do you like that song? That's me. But I was calm, and I tried to be cool. I didn't say anything, so, I tried to. But that's the first time I go,
Right.
I got a
It's
hit
happening.
record. Now, then we had another one. And then, you
Yeah,
get lucky
yeah.
and you get on a roll, and we had a few. So, but that first few times you hear yourself on the radio, it's like, oh, man, that's so cool.
Right.
Because you dream about that,
Right,
you dream
it's-
of doing that, and so it's pretty neat.
Okay, so I read somewhere that you like to do watercolor
Scaring
painting.
me when you say that.
Good, it's good
I
thoughts
read
only.
about you.
Good thoughts only. Okay,
Oh,
so it
okay.
said you like to do water,
I do. I
watercolor
like to
painting
paint. Yep.
and art, but it also said magic. Do you really like to do magic?
I used to do a lot of close-up
No
magic.
way.
I did.
That's
I
awesome.
did.
Wait, you
I
you
was
don't do it
hoping-
anymore?
I was hoping.
Not really. I used to do. I'm pretty rusty at it right now, but I used to do a lot of close-up magic, which is like things that you have, like cards
Just
and coins,
hidden.
things on your. Yeah, it's things you have up your sleeve. No, I'm kidding. But it was a lot of fun, and I had a couple friends that really kind of got me into the magic. When I was working and touring with the late great Chet Atkins as a young kid, I was his bass player, and his road manager George Lunn he did a lot of close-up magic, and he was awesome. And every time he would do a trick, I'd go, oh, you got to show me how you did that. And so I bugged him so much that he started showing me a lot of magic. And then I met I was a friend of mine in L.A. that every time I went to L.A. back in those days, we'd go to the Magic Castle and do all these cool things. So I realized that music was my thing. So I didn't have any notions that I wanted to be a magician, but I just loved, I still sometimes do a few coin things for some little kids or something, but, what's behind your ear? Oh, okay.
I'm like waiting still. Like, okay, is he gonna pull something out?
You're watching, like,
you're
what's he
probably
doing?
You could pull $100
What's that
bill
over here?
out. You could pull $100 bill out of my ear. Like, I'll let you do it right now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what I do is can I borrow your 20? And I'll go, oops, it's gone. Sorry.
It's now in my wallet. All right, guys, so you still got some time to get out and see Mr. Steve Wariner. It's going to be at 9:30. The weather is perfect. It's a lot better than last night. So come on out, and we'll see you at the fair.
Come on. This is